Mad Max sees your sad Katniss Everdeen love triangle evil capital dystopia and raises you one high-octane Furiosa and Morton Joe and paint-huffin', pasty-skin warboy, wheel worshiping death machines of death. Now, this is how you do Dystopia. Oh, that was Vince Kramer's Bizarro book I like very much. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it was Mad Max that launched the modern dystopia in the first place. Sure, it influenced me when I was a young lad. Doesn't matter how we broke the world. Point is, resource scarcity, specifically fossil fuel scarcity, beckons exactly this kind of future for all of humankind at some point, guaranteed, unless some kind of science fiction discovery shows up somewhere between about 20 years from now and 200, but that's another topic. The point is, Mad Max Fury Road gets to have it both ways. Non-stop action, what some might dismiss as shallow storytelling, what with all the non-stop action and all, but with plenty of storytelling, highly condensed in these brief glimpses into the wicked world of Immortan Joe. Now you can wait for the deluxe edition graphic novel story to come out, which I guarantee will be coming out at some point in the not too distant future, because director George Miller commissioned the dang thing before he even started shooting the movie. And look, Vertigo Comics has already released issue 1. Kind of backstory here for Nux and Joe. I was unable to obtain a copy. Now, for one, we've got the Mad Max canon to rely on. That provides us some backstory, and we could just look at where Max has been in the past. We can piece together a great deal from the little slivers of life inside the Citadel, and Morton Joe controls the flow of water from an underground spring, and is most likely depriving the refugee humans of this crucial resource simply as an act of cruelty, or control, or both. The trailer gives us little more than Max's mad run through the Citadel, and this is all we get in the movie as well, but it's remarkable how we get so much backstory so fast just by moving through all these corridors, and yet it's completely satisfactory. And Morton Joe's brand on the neck, check. Tattoo of Max's basic vital statistics, check. And the rest of the film operates in a similar manner, preferring brief glimpses and flashes over a slow and deliberate character development. And you know what? This really does work. It's what I would call the extraordinary day versus the ordinary day, and it wastes no time getting started. We start off with an extraordinary day for Max, about 60 seconds in. Sure, he's just wandering the desert, eating two-headed lizards, but immediately he's captured and he is utterly screwed. He is going to get his blood drained from his body until he dies, and then his organs harvested. That's the only interest Morton Joe and his war boys have with him. And it's a nice nod to vampirism, by the way. The war boys are a post-apocalyptic vampires. Quite literally, they look like vampires, and they need blood to live, and they're not going to live very long. They're dying, probably of some radiation poisoning from the ambient radiation of this post-apocalyptic world, were I to assume it's due to some sort of nuclear holocaust, though we don't know that for sure. And the war boys are driving around and getting exposed to all this stuff, so that's my theory at least, but I'm perfectly satisfied with just knowing that they have this terminal illness, all of them. It appears as though they have been sort of like adopted from the human being refugees that sort of wander about and beg for water, and they're not, though they feel as though they're the children of Immortan Joe, they're not. The children of Immortan Joe are born through his wives and his concubines, I guess is what he has, and are sort of the little family above that controls things and has access to this sort of mesa plateau where there's a lot of fertility and green. But yes, I'm guessing it's a nuclear holocaust. We also see the People Eater, the mayor of Gastown, seems to be having some problems, health problems that look like they're also brought on from radiation exposure. Furiosa is going on a gas run in the story. In here, too, we get fast, squished backstory about how the wives have decided that they're going to band together and escape the Citadel, because dying of thirst in the middle of a radioactive wasteland sure beats even one more day with old Immortan Joe. It's an extraordinary day for Imperator Furiosa. And this is another thing. Post-apocalyptic dystopia is letting us down these days. It's just too dang normal. If a broken civilization is going to re-implement all the diverse and baroque stuff of our modern world, then why wouldn't they invigorate war drums with heavy metal guitar? Why not make paint huffing a kind of Viking berserker drug ritual before death? It was the first Mad Max movies that served as an inspiration for the crazed world within the novel Supercenter. Here's an excerpt. Several unassociates had carefully arranged a ring of green glow sticks, LED votives, 3 lava lamps, and a small disco ball with a spotlight. At the center, a round globe of luminous fiber optic filaments. The entire effigy was wrapped in a ring of Christmas lights. The distant corner of the supercenter beckoned with the faint sound of empty laundry detergent tubs, repurposed as crude percussion instruments. Unassociates beat out a rhythm on plastic buckets while others danced. So if Mad Max is your thing, you'll love the interior world of the unassociated within Supercenter. And like in Supercenter, the blend of tribal culture with modern implements is a wonderful touch. For instance, the tribal scarification on the chests of the war boys and the images of engines. And let's not forget their cultish worship of steering wheels, the renaming of the surgeon as the organic mechanic. So in the end, Mad Max Fury Road doesn't give us all that much story, not all that much speculation on how and why the future is the way it is, the social governance systems that hold together the shabby world. All that is left aside, but what this film aims to do instead, and this is going to be a game changer for action movies from this moment forward, is build such a complex, ornate history through acting, costume, and setting as proxy.